Hi, welcome to another Tasty Tuesday on Christy's A+ Cooking. Today, D is for Dutch oven. Let's get started. We are making 4-ingredient crusty Dutch oven bread. This is actually a two-part process. So this is tonight, we're making the dough and it will rise overnight and then we'll bake it tomorrow. Like I said, there's 4 ingredients. We're gonna start off, I measured 3 cups of flour and we're gonna add a half a teaspoon of yeast. That's all you need. And 2 to 3 tablespoons of salt. I'm just gonna do 2. And then you have 1.5 cups of lukewarm water, and then you're just gonna mix it in till it's kind of a shaggy bread dough. And that's all there is to it for this part. It needs to rise at least 8 hours, and I like to do it overnight so that it's hot and fresh when we're going to eat it the next day. I actually got this recipe from Lindsay when I was visiting her in California, and I fell in love with it. And I soon discovered that you could add a lot of different things into it. Our favorite is to add cheese. It's a no-knead recipe, and so once it's all the flour is mixed in, you're gonna add a covering. I like to use press and seal. And you're gonna let it rise a minimum of 8 hours or overnight. We'll see you tomorrow. It's the next day and we're ready to bake our bread. You need to make sure you have at least an hour and a half before you're gonna serve it because it takes time to prep the Dutch oven and the bread again. So I've preheated my oven to 450 and I'm gonna put the uncovered Dutch oven in the oven to heat up for a half an hour. And while that is heating up, we are going to do some add-ins, but I wanted you to see what the dough looks like after it has raised overnight. I'm gonna actually add a little bit of flour because it looks a little sticky. And speaking of flour, I forgot to mention this last night, that King Arthur flour is my favorite flour to use. It's based out of Norwich, Vermont, and it is available in all of the stores in Idaho Falls. But Winco has the best price. You're gonna punch the dough down, and it says no kneading, but I'm just gonna put a little bit of flour on it so it won't be so sticky. And that's, if you don't wanna add anything, all you need to do is to form it into a ball and put it on your parchment paper and let it rise for the half an hour while the Dutch oven is heating up. But our family really loves cheese in ours. So we're gonna put about a cup or more, depending. Probably a cup's great. I just happen to use the Sargento 4-state cheddar because it has Vermont cheddar cheese in it. And you're just gonna mix it in, your dough. Won't take too long to do that. It's okay if there's some on the outside, but I just mix it in, and then I'm gonna form it into a ball and let it raise for about a half an hour while the Dutch oven is heating. I'm going to form it into a ball, kind of Spread it underneath. And then I am just going to place it on the parchment and let it rest until the Dutch oven is heated. The Dutch oven has been heated for a half an hour and is nice and hot, and you will notice that I put a piece of plastic wrap on top while it was resting. The last step that you do before you put it in the Dutch oven is to take your kitchen shears and make a little sliced, like an X, and then you're going to pick up your dough, place it in your oven, and then cover it. You're going to bake it for a half an hour, and then remove the cover and bake it for another 15 minutes. After the bread bakes, covered for half an hour, you remove the lid and bake it for another 7 to 15 minutes, depending on how brown you want it. I baked mine for 10 minutes. Here is today's recipe. Now, who's gonna get the first piece? I think I will. If you're enjoying these videos, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching Tasty Tuesday, and I'll see you next week.